Hi everyone. In this lecture, we will learn how to apply lookup functions, index and match functions. First is the lookup function, which stands for vertical lookup. This function will search the value that we specify vertically in the table and then return another value corresponding to that value from the table. I know that the definition is not very clear, so let us look at this example to understand this clearly. Suppose in the small group of 5 students that we have been studying, we want to add the music scores for these students from the music teacher's table. The music teacher has other students in the list also. The task of matching each student and assigning marks will be very cumbersome if we have a lot of students. This is where VLOOKUP will help us. To use VLOOKUP, type is equal to VLOOKUP. Select the value we want to match. Then select the table which is to be referred. Then mention the column number from which we want this response. This is the second column. We want response from second column which contains marks. The fourth parameter is the type of match we want. If we want exact match, this should be 0. For approximate match, this should be 1. We want an exact match for student 1 value in the table, so we will use 0. Press enter. We see that it went to the table selected. It matched the lookup value vertically to student 1 here. It gave back the value in column 2, which is 45, as we have asked it to do. Now we put $signs on the reference table values and extend the formula to get music marks for other students. Next is HLOOKUP function, which is horizontal lookup. In this, the value will be looked up horizontally in the table. We will give the row number from which we want the response instead of column number. For example, if we want to add to our table marks of students 6 in maths, science and English from another table which contains marks of students in all the subjects, we will type is equal to HLOOKUP. Select the subject name. Then select the reference table. Press F4 to log the reference table values, comma, then give the row number, which is 2 in our case, 0 for exact match. Extend it to fill the table. We can do the same for student 7 also, only the row number will be 3 instead of 2. Please try that on your own. Next we will look at the index function. As the name suggests, if in any given table we want to access any particular value whose index number or the row and column numbers are known to us, we use the index function. In this example, if we want to find the score of a particular student in a particular subject, we will first translate the student number to a row number, then translate subject name to column number, and then use it in index function. This will be the reference table for our index function. You can see that student number actually can be used as row number. So student 1, the 1 of student 1 is actually the row 1 of our table, and so on. For columns, maths marks are in column 1, science are in column 2, and English is in column 3. So we note down 1, 2 and 3 over maths, science and English. This conversion we can do by using nested ifs as discussed previously. Now we apply index is equal to index. Select the table. Give row number, comma, give column number, press enter. So you can see that first student has scored 99 marks in maths. If you change the number of student to 2, it will be updated to 65. If you change subject to science, it will be updated to 53. You can try changing different values of students and subjects to get different marks as output. Next up is match function. Match function will return the position of a particular value in an array. That is, if you have a list of 10 numbers match will tell you the position of a particular number in that list. So here, if you want to find the student who has scored maximum marks in each subject, we first find the maximum marks scored in each subject using the max function. Now we will use match function to find the position of this maximum value in the reference list. So we type is equal to match. Select the cell and then select the array. Press enter. This max value is the fourth value in the list, which also corresponds to student 4. Similarly, you apply match function horizontally to identify the subject in which each student has scored the maximum score. Again, we find the max score using match function. We then match this max value with the table selected horizontally to get the position. Here position 1 represents math, 2 represents science and 3 represents English. For student 1, max marks are achieved in maths. Next we look at how we can use a combination of index and match in case of VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. Usually we do not need to do this for small datasets. But if you have a large dataset, VLOOKUP will take up a lot of processing power of Excel. You may have to wait for very long time to get the result. You may have to look at messages which say Excel is not responding, etc. A lighter way to achieve the same objective will be to use index and match combination. In this combination, index will return the value desired from the table and match will help us identify the row number or the column number of the table from which the value is to be returned. For example, if you want music marks of student 1, we start typing is equal to index, tab, select the reference table. Note that in the table below, the column in which value is to be matched need not be column 1. This can be any column in index match. However, for VLOOKUP, the reference column should always be the first column. The second parameter is row number, which will be returned by match function. So we type match, select student 1, then select the array below, comma 0 for exact match, close the bracket, comma, column number which will be 1, enter. This gives us the same result as VLOOKUP, only this is quicker than VLOOKUP. Put $sign appropriately and extend to other cells. That's all for this lecture where we covered an important set of lookup formulas. Thanks.